Freemasonry, a complex and historically rich fraternal organization, has roots that are both enigmatic and deeply interwoven with the cultural and intellectual history of the Western world. Although its true origins remain partly shrouded in mystery, most historians trace the Freemasons' beginnings to the medieval guilds of stonemasons who built the great cathedrals, castles, and other stone edifices across Europe. These guilds were known for their strict codes of ethics, technical skills, and symbolic rituals, elements that would later be embedded in Freemasonry as we know it. In the Middle Ages, stonemasons formed lodges to train apprentices and regulate their profession, with each level of skill accompanied by symbolic rituals and strict oaths. These lodges functioned both as professional organizations and as societies where the Mason secrets, such as architectural knowledge and trade techniques, were preserved. However, with the decline of cathedral building in the 17th century, the purpose and membership of these lodges began to shift. They gradually transformed from purely operative, trade-based guilds into speculative lodges that admitted non-Masons as members. These new members, often from the intellectual elite, were drawn to the symbolic and philosophical dimensions of Freemasonry. The official birth of modern Freemasonry is generally dated to June 24, 1717, when 4 London lodges united to form the Grand Lodge of England, the first formal Masonic governing body. This move marked a pivotal shift, as it helped establish Freemasonry as a formal organization with established rules and rights. This period, known as the Age of Enlightenment, heavily influenced Freemasonry's ideological foundation, focusing on values such as reason, equality, and the pursuit of knowledge. This new Freemasonry became speculative, embracing philosophical ideas and symbolism rather than focusing solely on the stonemason's trade. Throughout the 18th century, Freemasonry spread across Europe, the Americas, and eventually the entire world, quickly becoming a significant cultural force. The French Revolution, for example, saw a surge in Masonic involvement, with many key revolutionary figures being Freemasons. Masonic ideals of fraternity, liberty, and equality were also highly influential in the American Revolution. Founding fathers like George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and John Hancock were prominent Masons, and Masonic symbols, such as the all-seeing eye and the unfinished pyramid, appear on the U.S. Great Seal. In addition to political movements, Freemasonry contributed to various fields, from science to the arts. Many of the Enlightenment's greatest thinkers and figures were Freemasons, including Voltaire, Mozart, and Goethe. Masonic lodges became gathering places where new ideas in philosophy, politics, and social reforms could be discussed, creating a space where progressive ideas could flourish. One of the defining features of Freemasonry is its complex system of rituals, symbols, and degrees, which serve both as tools for moral instruction and as identifiers of a member's rank. The symbols, such as the square, compass, trowel, and all-seeing eye, represent various virtues and philosophical concepts. Freemasons advance through a series of degrees, the most common being the entered apprentice, fellow craft, and master mason. Higher degrees exist within certain branches of Freemasonry, such as the Scottish Rite and the York Rite, each with additional teachings and esoteric knowledge. Many of these symbols and rituals are inspired by biblical stories, ancient mystery traditions, and alchemical symbols, all integrated into a framework that encourages self-improvement, ethical conduct, and the search for truth. For instance, the allegory of the construction of King Solomon's temple is central in Freemasonry, symbolizing the spiritual building of one's character. Freemasonry has also faced suspicion and hostility throughout its history. In the late 18th century, the Catholic Church condemned Freemasonry, viewing it as a subversive organization that promoted rationalism and religious indifferentism. Pope Clement XII issued the first papal bull against Freemasonry in 1738, and numerous other condemnations followed, with the Church warning against the organization's secrecy and influence. Political leaders in Europe and elsewhere, particularly authoritarian regimes, have also suppressed Freemasonry at various points, perceiving it as a threat to established power structures. Freemasonry's secretive nature has made it fertile ground for conspiracy theories. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, accusations of Masonic plots to control governments or spread subversive ideologies became common, with the Freemasons often scapegoated during political or social upheavals. The anti-Masonic movements of the 19th century in the United States and Europe contributed to a narrative of suspicion and misinformation that persists to this day. Today, Freemasonry exists in various forms around the world, with the largest and most prominent lodges in the United States, the United Kingdom, and continental Europe. Lodges now focus on philanthropy, personal development, and social networking rather than on political or revolutionary agendas. Many lodges support charitable work, scholarships, and community services. However, Freemasonry's fundamental principles, brotherly love, relief, and truth, remain at the core of its teachings. Freemasonry continues to captivate the imagination and intrigue of the public. Its influence on history, from architecture to revolution, and its connection to intellectual movements make it one of the most enduring and enigmatic organizations in the world.